Going off track right there a little bit. For anyone who's wondering, this is Trevor Morris. He did the Vikings soundtrack. Great artist. I like his work a lot. The previous two songs were from Wardruna. Wardruna. They are another traditional sounding Viking band. I'm trying to give credit to these artists. None of this music is mine, it's just background filler, because otherwise this is silent, which can be boring. Now time to do ruins. My hands will probably be covering most of this since they're small. I'm trying to get to the camera. They're pretty small. But as I go down, you'll be able to see them start to darken from them being burnt. Like that. Once again, this is Trevor Morris, did the soundtrack for Vikings. If you haven't heard his music before, you're open to new things, I think you should check it out. Great artist. I like to keep my ruins about this size because they're about the same size as that tip right there. So I don't have to worry about too much about going over the line. The only time I will are on these smaller ones like this, which is a slanted F essentially. Things like that, I'll have to worry about it a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty nice just to be able to go down the line. And this is Carvandi, the band Carvandi. They're another good band. Not everybody likes Nordic style music. Don't expect you to. Don't expect you to even listen this with the audio on. If you don't want, you can play your own music in the background. But just so I don't go crazy, have some music. See like this? So now this is just a straight line, but right here on this side, there are two little slants. An F would just go out straight. These go out sideways. And they're not long enough for this tip, so they're short. So I gotta drag the corner of the tip and be careful not to drag any of the rest of the tip or hold it for too long. Because seeing as it is just the tip of it, it's a point that'll dig into the wood a lot faster than, say, if I was using the full surface. If I had another one of these, I'd just keep a smaller tip on it and off to the side here, but I don't. And if I were to unplug it, change the tip, put it back on, it'd probably be like a 12-minute process because you have to wait for this to cool down because you do not want to touch that. It's hot as hell. So, down both sides I have ruins carved, or burned in. Now I'm going to switch the tip out on this a bit later so I can do these dots. These dots separate the word from each other, so it's like a space. The runes individually mean something on their own, but put together they form a word. Now this is a saying that I really like. You know, I think it goes well for my work on axes and things like that. Never leave home ahead of your axe or sword. You can never feel an enemy or battle. You can never foresee an enemy or battle coming up. So it's basically saying, you know, always be prepared. And I think that's a good kind of motto to live by. It's nice. Plus, it came from the Hanval, which is a heathen religious type of book. It's not, they don't pray to it, it's just got quotes, how to be like a better person, things like that. It's got some nice words of wisdom in there from Odin. In the process of learning Old Norse myself, so I can read it and write it better. Because as much as I'd like to say that I wrote this out myself without looking, you know, I wrote out the ruins because I know them from the English to Old Norse. I don't. So I used the translator that the community I'm a part of trusts and uses for their newcomers, such as myself. So I used that to kind of help me. I put the quote in and it gave me the Ruin translation. I emailed it to myself. I had it sit here while I sketched them on. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to just do this myself. I don't have to use the translator. I'll be able to just look at a word and know the Runic for it. I personally think that'd be really cool. And I forgot earlier that I was recording this. So you saw me take off my necklace here. Oh, that was warm. My necklace here. This is Thor's hammer. Not the traditional one you see nowadays from the Avengers. It's the traditional, original Thor's hammer from Norse mythology, things like that. It's a protection thing. I wear it every day. In or outside of my house. The only time I really take it off is when I shower. You can tell I've had it for quite a while. It started to rub off and show the bronze underneath. But we're not here for that. We're here for this. This is the Viking TV show main theme, If I Had a Heart, by... I don't know who. But it's the main theme to Vikings. The TV show. Which, if you haven't watched that either, I would recommend. It's very good. I've seen it 2 or 3 times myself. Oops, I messed up a little bit right there. You see the slant on the M went a little too far because I was using the tip of it because it's not long enough, and I actually accidentally went too far down and it touched him. It burned too far over. That's unfortunate. Nothing I can do better now, though. We'll talk more about the project. So, this piece of wood, this handle, you see it has a hole right here. It goes through completely to the other side. It's because this is just like a tool handle I picked up from Home Depot. Not Home Depot, Lowe's, just up my road. The head I bought off of Amazon, and it came on another pole that was only like this big, so it wasn't very good. It wasn't very useful, and it wasn't very well put on there either. Like I could pull it off, so if you tried to chop anything with it, it would have just came clean off. Sorry. So if you would try to chop anything, it would just come clean off. So I went and I bought this handle, and I chiseled out with my wood chisels for this to fit on better. Because originally it wouldn't just slide on because it's about the same size. It's almost flush from wood to metal right here. So I did that and I carved it out just barely enough to where I had to force it on so it wouldn't come off. Right before I did, I put a whole bunch of epoxy in here and forced it on, got it fit how I wanted. And so now that's epoxy. Later on, after I stain this, because I'll wood burn all of this, I'll stain it, I'm going to wrap leather right here around the top too, so it kind of hides the little imperfections from chiseling in this hole here. I'm going to wrap it down until about right here, here, up, and then one wrap on the blade itself. I'll also be sharpening this blade because right now it's not sharp at all. It came that way from the person I bought it from. Unfortunately, I would have rathered it be sharp, but that's just me. I'll stain the, like I said, I'll stain the entire thing, and I'll make the wood burning pop a little bit more, and I'll give the handle a little bit of color, which I like. And then I will post it for sale. So, if you're into axes and you're looking to buy something and you like this project, you can buy it. I'll be putting it on for sale on my Etsy, which I'll link in the bottom of this video for anybody who watches it and who can see my past projects. Actually, I have a past project right here that is still for sale on my Etsy. It's another axe. You can see I engraved the blade right there. I sharpened this one, so this one is sharp. It has engraved wood burnings of the gods' names. I only did the engraving on the one side, so it's not on this one. It's only on this one. But it's just a short throwing tomahawk. But yeah, it's engraved and wood burnt with the gods' names on it. That's one of my other projects that's within reach. I have more just over there, but I can't reach over my table. And I generally don't like when people plug their items like that in a video, so I really feel bad for doing it. But I had to put this down for a minute because the base of this does get hot, and it does burn you a little bit. So I had to put it down for a minute. I figured bringing in another project or a project video would be the best way to do that. You know, which kind of fits, I guess. So I'll probably finish with this side all the way down to here, and then I'll probably end that video here. I'll do the other side tomorrow, and then I'll do these dots tomorrow as well for the spacing, the ending of the word. I'll do that tomorrow as well in another video, and then if time permits, I can stain it in that video as well. The leather won't be here for another couple of days. I ordered it not from Amazon. Unfortunately, they were out of stock, so I had to order from somewhere else, and it's going to be a few days before it's here. And then once the leather is here, I will see if I can make a video of leather, me wrapping the top in leather. And I may do something on the bottom as well, but I'm not entirely sure, because I mean, I have a lot of space here at the bottom where there's just nothing. I may just leave it blank though. This is another song from the Vikings TV show by Enya Selvik. It has a name that I can pronounce very easily because it's in English, but it gives away part of the show. So I just won't mention the name. But it's from the show Vikings, and like I said, the guy's name is Aaron, or no, N.R. Sorry, I had a stroke. N.R. Sullivan. He's not a good artist. I've only heard a few of his things. Stretch your head. Let's go ahead and skip this one. We'll go to Hagal by Wardruna again. They're a great band. I love them. I listen to them almost every day, if not every day. So before we talked about this rune up here, whoops, no, up here, that was like the F, but it was pointing down. We passed another one here that I forgot to mention, but this next one is an F that's like an F that have the lines in the middle that go upward. See that? I think it won't go up, and there's a little part where it sticks up. So they're not completely at the top pointing up, they're just a little bit in the middle. And the bottom one is longer than the top one, kind of like a reverse F. The chord's being a jerk. Okay. Whew. Almost done. I gotta put it down for another second. Whew. It's warm. I think it's turning out well. I like how it's going. I know the lines are a little crooked around here, and you can see that they're a little crooked. But I mean, it's not supposed to look perfect. I don't want it to look perfect. If I wanted it to look perfect, I'd buy a machine that could do this. I want it to look a little off. I want it to look handmade, because that's how things would have looked back then. Granted, they wouldn't have this type of thing. They'd have to heat up a knife and stick it and do it. And it would have taken a lot more time. And if I had the time for that, I'd love to do it that way. But it is 11:30, and I do have work tomorrow. If I didn't have, if I didn't need this job, if I didn't need my job, I would do it the long way. I would heat up a knife and do each one, let it heat, do each one, let it heat. I'd actually have 3 knives in there, so I could pick one up, put it in there, switch it out, and just do that, alternate between the 3. That way I always had a hot one. Ooh, and I would also love to go into the woods, find a stick, and carve it into a handle. And I do hope to soon get a forge and start making my own axe heads. Instead of having to buy them and put them on and design the entire thing, I want to make my own axe head, which I think would be really cool. Right. To continue with this last word and a half. See, one thing about working with wood is this line right here is good. It's good depth. It's a little crooked, but oh well. This one is a little too much. You can see it, the thickness change. It went a little too deep because the wood is slightly softer right there, so it sunk in a lot faster than it did here. I wasn't expecting that drastic change from that far apart. But it did happen. And we'll work with it. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just there. Now we've already passed my favorite ruin, which is this one here. It's like an arrow pointing up. That is the warrior ruin. It's a protection or to signify a warrior. I like that one. It's my favorite. I actually used to draw a bunch of symbols on my knuckles right here. I used to draw them in marker. Don't do that anymore. Now, to be honest, I don't know how well this video is going to go over. It was a suggestion from my Discord group that I'm in to do a progress video, because I do take progress photos and I post them in there so they can see them, things like that. But somebody suggested a video. Not something I've done before. But I thought I'd give it a try. If it doesn't go over well, you know, no big deal. I don't expect this to be an up-and-coming thing. But if it does get good response, then I'll gladly do another. Because like I said, I do have this full other side to do of the ruins. All the spacers, the dot spacers, and the staining. There's more engraving I'm going to do on the head as well. That I would definitely need to cut my audio completely and put in background noise music, because the engraving machine, the little hand engraver I have, is very loud. Alright, oops. Let's go ahead and unplug that so it can start cooling down, so I can put it away for the night. I think that went well for a first video. I got the top and bottom knot done. I got these two lines done. I already had these two lines done before I started the video. And I think I had this bottom knot and these two lines done before the video. So in the video we did this top knot and all these ruins and these two lines. I kind of talked about some stuff. I kind of rambled a little bit, and I apologize. Like I said, I don't expect you guys to have the audio on here, so you guys can just mute and whatnot. A little closer look. And for the people who haven't seen, who just happen to stumble across this video and watch it for some reason, this is the engraving on the axe head. Try to get that light. It's on both sides. I'm gonna do a little more work on the engraving. I'm gonna add some scales right here, going down on the inside. I may add a knot in here inside the tail that goes up and around. I was thinking about etching out the outside instead of having it the same level as everything. Kind of taking a Dremel tool and hollowing out this a little bit, just a titch, just to where it was lower and looked a little different. It was different consistency and everything like that. Yeah, I like how this is turning out. I'm excited to get it done and up on the market. It'll hopefully sell. If not, I have one more axe of mini. Let me go ahead and put this one off to the side and I know I said I hated it. I said I didn't really like it, but this is another one of the axes that I did. This is a leather wrap that's around the top and then wrapped down the back, and then a cross pattern all the way down and grouped up here. And then this is a 3/4 inch thick brown, I know it looks a little red in the video, brown leather wrapped all the way, and then another black strip leather wrapped around the bottom just to kind of make everything look nice. This one is sharp as well. I know I said I don't like when people show their projects or show their other items off in the videos, but I'm gonna be a hypocrite and do it, obviously. I'm still trying to get my Etsy out and known more so people buy more things. I've only had 2 sales on it. I'm also trying to get my store to have more things. Like right now I have axes on there, and I have 2 little wall decorations that I have up on the wall just over here. I won't get those down. But I want to make more things to sell. Little like jewelry boxes. I want to make bog chairs or 2 plank chairs. If you don't know what those are, you can look them up. I do want to make those to sell. Yeah, I just want to make more things. I want to get more things out there to sell. But this was the project on this axe here. I'll go ahead and move these 2 now. I am still thinking of a name for this one. I don't know what to name it quite yet. I'll have to think about that. If you guys have any suggestions for a name, let me know. We'll do the other side of the ruins tomorrow, and then I'll post that video up, and we'll do the other side ruins and the spacing dots in the other video, and then if both of those do well, I'll give it a week or 2, and if both of those get some likes and views, I'll do more of me making my projects and things. I'll do one of staining this and wrapping the leather and everything like that, because this was fun to do, even though I rambled a little bit. Sorry for that. Other than that, I don't really know how to end this, so thank you for watching.